Hi everybody, I'm Angelique Tsang and I'm a meetup organizer in London and Hong Kong. And this video is going to be about taster workshops that I'm going to be running in preparation for the 10-week online interactive course, which is all about creating your reality or co-creating your reality with prosperity consciousness. And why is that important? I think to talk a little bit about prosperity consciousness, I discovered prosperity consciousness by reading a book called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity Consciousness by Catherine Ponder. And when I put that book together with a lot of the co-creation studies that I was, basically involved in, I started seeing that there were so many blind spots in the way that I was perceiving reality, perceiving my role in reality. And so, coming from an executive search background where I was always involved in leadership assessment and assisting corporates to find and assess the best people for their organizations, I was always using competencies to actually measure people's behavior. So because our clients wanted us to do that, so that they could have a bit of a prediction around somebody's performance. So what I did when I was studying these co-creation laws and prosperity consciousness, I started putting together a model of competencies of deliberate co-creation. And I actually put it together with prosperity consciousness, and I have been actually applying it in my life, and I've been teaching students in my classes about these principles. And so if you're interested, I think it would be relevant for you, especially if you have an area of struggle in your life. And how do you know that you have an area of struggle? An area of struggle is, of course, an area where things are not going the way that you would like to go. There's either a lot of repeated, perceived failure, or there's a lot of effort with, not the results that you want to get. And there's a feeling of maybe despair or worry or frustration in those areas. And it could be any area. It could be romance, it could be relationship, it could be health, it could be meaning in life, it could be money, career, satisfaction, or even whether you're living a passionate life or not, although you're very successful. So it's actually a comprehensive course for any area in your life where you feel that you're struggling and or you are actually bored and content and you don't know how to shift it. So the 7 competencies that I designed are actually extremely practical, and it's actually we don't even have to call it law of attraction or spiritual principles, because the way that I apply these what I call more spiritual principles or spiritual thoughts is actually on a very down-to-earth, practical, applicable level. So the 7 ways of actually working with what I call the spiritual principles of co-creation and in conjunction with prosperity consciousness are as follows. Number 1, identity. Which identity are you coming from in any area of your life? Are you ruled by an unconscious archetype? Or are you so attached to this archetype that you actually don't know how to let go of it, and that archetype is ruling your life instead of you having any control about it? So that is one of the first things that we're going to look at when we go into the course. The second competency is about your desire. And I'm sure that you've heard of people that actually are not congruent with their desire. And of course, you have to ask yourself, how is that possible? How can somebody not be congruent with something that they say they want so much? Like for instance, if somebody says, I want to make a lot of money, and then they just watch TV all day, or, they don't finish their studies, or they want to lose weight and they keep eating whatever they want to eat. I mean, these things have to do, of course, with split desire, split intentions. And Of course, this is again about identity. It's like all these different sub-personalities in a person, vying for, basically control in their life. And what we're going to do in the course is help you really align all these different elements of your being so that you show up in a different way, and actually your goals might even change. So there's a lot of things that happen in the class that are, even beyond my own understanding, because there's so much that happens that are actually around self-realization of the potential of people. And I'm just a facilitator there to facilitate the process. Having said that, the first competency is identity, second competency is desire. The third competency is about your vision, is about your focus. And focus is not the same as vision. And a lot of people have a lot of focus, and but they tend to be focusing on the wrong things. So what we're gonna help you in a 10-week online course, and you're gonna get a flavor of it in a taster workshop, is to actually apply vision to your focus. And it sounds very, very easy, but actually people are so, stuck in their, what I would call wrong focus, that actually this part is a really tough one to crack. But it's just one of the 7 competencies. So you can see how deep we will go in the 10 weeks. So the fourth competency is actually your belief systems or your worldview, and a lot of them are unconscious. So during the 10 weeks, we're going to take you through a discovery process where you actually really unravel every bit of unconstructive belief system that is holding you back from achieving the type of success or flow in the life that you are dreaming about. And so that is one of the things that we're going to be looking at, and you'll be starting with these things in a very, very early stage, and you'll continue doing that in a group setting in 10 weeks, and the whole group together just gels, and they all sort of inspire each other about what how simple belief systems or so-called even worldviews that we hold to be true can sometimes be just not actually just not true. They're just a perception, and they're very often based on old experiences or experiences of the subculture that we come from. So having said that, the fifth competency is managing your emotions and how to actually really shift your emotions so that you can shift your what we call state, and so we can shift how you show up emotionally, so that your emotions don't run your days, and your emotions don't run, the way you react or interact with things that happen in life. So that, of course, will all these competencies come with tools, and they come with processes and day-to-day new habits that you're going to apply. And because you're in a group, and because you're, working with somebody like me, you're going to be held accountable. So of course you can, you don't have to do it in a group, but if you do it in a group, it's actually much more fun. And there is a lot of beautiful sharing, and actually half of the fun is about, the friendships and support that come in a group setting. So, I mean, actually, every time after I finished the group, I miss the group. And and I'm sure they miss me too and miss each other too. Please say that, actually, when you see me next time, okay? So the seventh competency is about how we take action. And a lot of the time, when there's an area of poverty consciousness, and we have struggle, and we have, failure again and again, we actually are doing something fundamentally wrong, and it seems to be like a blind spot. And so the way that we take action is very much driven by fear, and it's very much driven by a need to get validation externally. And of course then these things are picked up by our environment, and then it just really doesn't kick off. So according to how I designed the course, when you have tackled the competencies before that, the actions will just fall into place. It's just like a very natural result of, your new way of being in life. So the seventh competency is what they call the art of allowing. And the art of allowing is actually when you have an alignment between your identity, your desire, your vision, and your belief systems, and your actions and your emotions. So it's all of the six competencies before that lined up with what you want to achieve in life on a day-to-day basis, with with the highest vision that you might have for yourself. So yeah, what can I say? There's a taster workshop online, so look at the links below for the dates. And there's a taster workshop in London. And if you can make it, please do show up. Forward it to your friends. The taster workshops are free. And if you want to apply for the 10-week workshops, and you're not sure, you can actually book in a 30-minute free consultation with me to see whether working in a group is right for you. And if working in a group is not right for you and you would rather do the work individually with me, I can also give you the program individually, and that will be a different cost. And of course, you will miss, the amazing cohesiveness of working with the other students that are, all over the world. But yeah, I can definitely recommend that you work in a group if this is something for you. And if you want to know about the testimonials and the type of results that people are getting, read the testimonials part, because if I didn't believe that this stuff worked, if I didn't apply it myself, I wouldn't be teaching it, because I've seen amazing results in the lives of people that I've been working with, and so I have been very, very blessed with being able to see that whatever I designed or whatever I was able to explain about how co-creation works and about how poverty consciousness works opposite prosperity consciousness, that it clicks within people's mindsets, and that they start changing the behavior and they start embracing new habits and new belief systems. And then when they do that things just shift in their life. So as an example, some people didn't have jobs and they were suffering for like 1.5 years, and after they came into the course, after 4 weeks, within 4 weeks, that wasn't even half of the course, they had like 3 or 4 or 5 job offers. And I mean, how does that occur? Is it because they were more confident, or is it because they started zooming in on different things and that just came across? I don't know. We had people who were struggling in career, in their business and in their relationship. And once they, came into the class and they did all the homework, and there's a lot of homework, meaning every week you have to listen to an audiobook, 1 chapter, and you have to do processes, and you have to apply the tools that I teach. When these people started doing that, their partners picked it up, their business partners picked it up, and their life partners picked it up. And as a result, these people's relationships that were first, on the brink of, breaking up, totally shifted around. And so I can tell you, as somebody who was a witness to these processes of, advising people how to show up differently in their life using the competency model, that, there are real results there in real life, and it's not woo-woo. You can say it's woo-woo, but the work that has to be done is absolutely not woo-woo. I can trust me on that one. And it is about work, but actually when you don't do the work, your life is going to remain a struggle. And I can tell you that because before I was applying, prosperity consciousness, and before I was applying this competency model, my life was a struggle. Oh my God, and so I can totally relate to people who are, stuck in either relationships or their career or their finances, or even, the hopes they have about life, being able to create the life that they desire. And so If you're curious, show up to the Taster workshop, sign up for the online webinar, and if you have questions, sign up for a 30-minute free consultation. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.